Today, let's do some reaction to some crazy advertisements that we all see on YouTube. Along the way, let me know which is your favorite and what kind of thoughts you have when you see them. And today I've picked up 6 of my favorite. And without further ado, let's start with the first one. How about that? How much do I need to invest? Do I need $100,000? But I only have $5,000. A 10% return, that is just $500, and after 1 year. With inflation, that's not even enough to buy a meal. Now, 10% returns year on year, you're actually a pretty good investor. $100,000, let's put it in perspective, with a 10% return, you get to $1 million in 24 years. If you compare that kind of compounding against CPF SA 4%, they'll only get to $266,000. You realize that 10% real return is crazily good. You'll grow the pot by 4 times faster. But what's the underlying intention of this advertisement in my opinion? They are quite obviously trying to lure the new investor who only has $5,000 instead of preaching to them to go slow and steady, start building it, invest it prudently. They are kind of suggesting that if you have not $100,000, you shouldn't be investing in traditional ideas. You should be following us to punt your money to get potentially high returns. That is also one of the key motivations I did today's video to share with you. Because when I checked around, I think this resonates. Many people are quite annoyed by such nonsense financial advertisements. And the fact that they are still running after many weeks shows that they are very likely profitable in converting audiences to the cause that they are selling. So again, smash the like button, share this with someone who should see, and make sure also that they avoid certain mistakes. Because unfortunately, some people are gullible and may really fall for these advertisements. The bottom line for this advertisement, in my opinion, is if you don't have too much savings, you need income, come to us, we can help you. Unfortunately, I disagree. Let's go on to the second advertisement. UK properties. You can start investing as little as $50,000 or $100,000. I don't quite like the idea of parents saving up for a child's education and spending it down, needing to restart all over again. Invest here and you get 6 to 8% net yield, positive cash flow. No need to worry about rising interest rates and stamp duties. Rising interest rates actually affect all forms of real estate, whether you're in UK or in Singapore. As Warren Buffett has mentioned before, interest rates are gravity to an asset's price. For residential property, mortgage loan increases when your interest rates go up. That in turn affects cash flow. For Singapore properties, I guess the problem is ABSD, correct? Additional Buyer Stamp Duty. So the idea always is these foreign property causes will sell you if you buy a foreign property, whether it's UK, Thailand, Australia, Vancouver. The idea is you can sidestep ABSD. But very often, they don't mention about foreign exchange risk, forex risk. Let's use UK properties. Do you know that back in 2007, British pound was 3 to 1 against the Sing dollar? 2016, British pounds was 2 to 1. Currently, take a guess where British pound is to Sing dollar. It's right now sitting at 1 is to 1.71 Sing dollars. The amount of losses that foreign exchange can bring to an investment is enormous. The idea that a foreign property, because the starting capital is cheaper, is likely a better option than Singapore is just purely marketing. The bottom line of this advertisement, in my opinion, is to suggest to you that there are great investments overseas and you can make passive income if you really want. And to the point of parents saving monies into a foreign property for their child's education, I think that's actually pretty dangerous. Because firstly, we don't know whether capital will necessarily appreciate. We don't know whether foreign exchange will cause losses. And when it comes to producing cash flow that the kid needs for education, 6 to 8% yield is clearly still not enough. The best way is currently to save up for kids' education is, in my opinion, either building a balanced investment portfolio for them or simply just buying Singapore savings bonds which will mature with guaranteed amounts in 10 years. The third advertisement to bring up is a combination of advertisements that might sound familiar to you. It reads, whether you're an expert or beginner, it is okay. No financial background needed for consistent results. This is a secret method from Wall Street that no one talks about. Technical analysis are lagging indicators, that's why you're failing. Don't worry, don't need to spend hours looking at charts or reports. Follow my system. Green means buy, red means sell. Let's address some of these points. Firstly, if no one is talking about this special secret method, you can actually bet that it's almost certainly faked. It's about the same as, when you think about a business. No one has ever done this business before. How come I'm so clever? I'm the only one. I think the answer most likely is this idea cannot work. It's more likely than not going to fail. Then to the next point. Can a beginner or someone with no experience be good or not? Don't need time to learn. Don't need to spend hours to get mastery. Let me also ask someone who is attracted to this advertisement. What kind of sport or what kind of job that you do don't need time to get mastery? Don't have, right? Everything needs time and effort to become good at it. Everything needs you to go through that loop of failure and reflection and years of practice before you understand how to control things a bit better. Quite clearly, the message is just to touch on certain pain points and just to do an objection handling for you to sign up for their course. Most of us who understand that Mr. Market is very humbling would find these kind of messages very hilarious. But for the benefit of masses and for new investors, let's once and for all state that these advertisements usually pitch a shortcut. There's simply no proprietary method out there that can make money for you from the financial markets like a money-making machine. Again, if you agree, smash the like button. And with that, let's go on to the fourth advertisement message, which reads, I'm not talking about small tiny wins like 10, 15, 20%. Some can get as high as 200%. Many of them here are not experienced traders and don't have a big starting capital. Be part of this community because we have helped hundreds of students succeed. Each week, we're giving $100 free for those who have made at least $100 profit for that week. So many people have benefited and entered this giveaway challenge. The key message I gather from this is they're quite obviously recruiting people into the community, correct? Free social proof, free money. If anything, for the entire list for today's discussion, I think this could be the closest to a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent scheme that involves paying existing investors with funds collected from new investors. I don't have exact details of how they actually run it. I don't exactly know how this $100 actually come about. But I think raising red flags are very reasonable. This entire marketing message promotes gambling. Fast returns, forget 20%, let's go for 200%. It's very much like the high odds casino game, and the bottom line is if you want to make fast money, join us. Take note, this kind of message is not new. They lure certain people in. I hope this video can protect and warn them against. Advertisement number 5. Real wealthy people owe money generation by safe assets like real estate, commodities and agriculture. They are not into speculative investments or get-rich-quick schemes. These investments that I'm promoting don't skyrocket 20 to 30% per month. Neither do they drop 90% overnight. There are actually stable investments out there that no one seems to realize. As solid as rock and consistent returns. These safe assets are commodities and agriculture assets overseas that you can use your strong Sing dollar to purchase. Investment ideas, again, that no one seems to realize. How come this keeps coming up? Like some secret like that. Again, it does not exist. But I want to draw the attention to this flowery marketing message. 20 to 30% per month. It is true that some stock prices can go up 20 or 30% a month. But that's a month, not per month. 20 to 30% per month, that's 300%. Almost guaranteed to be a speculative idea already. Then the second part of drop 90% overnight. Come on. No investments drop 90% overnight. Even a bond that's in default would likely take a haircut that's not going to be halfway as severe as that. Things that drop 90% overnight are scams. There are many examples of those in the crypto space. Then what about safe assets like commodities and agriculture overseas that you can use your strong Sing dollar? That's actually hilarious. Many people who have bought Iskandar, JB properties as a retirement home, in my opinion, have some regrets. At the back of their mind, when they calculate that investment cost versus buying Singapore properties, I think on hindsight, they will much rather buy the Singapore property. Simply because ringgit has depreciated so much against Sing dollar in the last 10 years that foreign exchange loss has eroded away all gains. But buying commodities and agriculture assets overseas, that's even worse. I own palm oil stocks and I can share a bit with you. The listed palm oil companies in Singapore are usually family owned. and they have a lot of experience. They have close ties with the local government. They have to navigate palm oil taxes, property rules, labor rules all the time. And if you try to own agriculture assets and commodity assets overseas without knowing these business requirements, it is actually enormously risky. So again, don't go that space. And let's move on to the 6th advertisement message, which is Mr. A is an investor that buys stocks and prays every day that stock price goes up. Mr. B knows how to make money from the market, whether the market is going upwards, downwards, or sideways. Options investing require very little capital. It's beautiful and it has unlimited upside and downside protection. The first part of an investor praying about stock market prices going up every day, that seems to me like a slap in the face to Warren Buffett's message that stock market is a transfer mechanism from someone who is impatient to the patient. When you invest in stocks, you are buying companies. That in its nature is a very slow game that requires patience. Warren Buffett preaches on patience when buying companies, and he's even go on and mention that he doesn't mind that the stock market closes for 5 years because the price doesn't really matter. Then the second part about options investing, giving downside protection. When you buy a put option or when you sell a call option, if you haven't heard of them, do know that certain upside is sacrifice. Then what about for unlimited upside? That is when you buy a call option, but there's actually no downside protection. You can actually lose your entire call option value. This reminds me of a previous video I've done before on a guy that's actually lost $551,000. The crux of matter is options that he had on hand. If you haven't seen that message, I'll suggest you to check it out because it delivers a very powerful story and hopefully you can share with someone who should hear too. With that, someone from me and see you there. Take care as always. Invest safely. Goodbye.